Hello friends, today I'm going to start a new series in which I'm going to tell you about the new chapters or the old ones which are coming by in our NCERT books. So let's start. This is the chapter 1 from the 16 chapters, and I will mostly try to finish all the chapters in one video. Just if the chapter is big, then it will take 2 videos. So let's start. So the first chapter is food. Where does it come from? So it is just some information about food, not a much. So what do you eat at home today? Find out what your friends ate today. Do you eat the same kind of food yesterday and today? We all eat different kinds of food at different times, isn't it? So I will also answer these questions which are asked by the NCERT and are really irritating because they only ask the questions and just do not answer these questions. They only ask. So I will try to answer most of them. Like this, I can't answer this because it depends on you, not me, because I don't know what my friend eats. Food variety. So there are lots of activities also which are sometimes irritating because we just have to fill this chart, and if you want you can fill. You can just pause the video and let's start the activity 1. Ask your friend in the school about the items they would eat during a day. See if you can also get this information from friends staying in different states of India. Or list all the items in your notebook as given in table 1.1 for as many friends as possible. So this is the first table of this chapter and this book. And just pause the video if you want to fill this table in your book also and other things. And I also want to say that if he can be in different states of India, you can ask your friend if he lives in another country of the world. So now let's just jump to the top. There seems to be too much variety in food that we eat. What are these food made items made up of? So in this chapter we'll mostly see that what these food items are made up of, what it is divided into. Think about rice cooked at home. We take raw rice and boil it in water, just 2 ingredients and materials. So this bowl of rice is taking only 2 ingredients, rice itself and water, which make boiled rice if you boil them. So these are needed to prepare the dish of boiled rice. On the other hand, some food items are made with many ingredients. To prepare vegetable curry, we need different kinds of vegetable, salt, spices, oil and so on. So yes, my favorite vegetable is not a vegetable, but it is a dish. It is Shahi Paneer. Choose some of the items you listed in table 1.1 and try to find out what ingredients are used to prepare these by discussing with your friends and elders at home. So we can discuss it with everyone. List them in table 1.2. Some examples are given here. Add some more items to the table. So this table is infinitely expandable. You can expand it in your copy or rough copy where you want to note it, and just pause the video to see it. Moving on, what do we find? Do we find some ingredients common for different food items? Discuss in class. So where do these ingredients come from? So now in this chapter we will see that from where these ingredients come from, not what are these ingredients. So these are some photos which I'll explain later. Food materials and sources. It may be easy for us to guess the sources of some of the ingredients that we listed in table 1.2. Fruits and vegetables, for instance. Where do they come from? Plants, of course. What are the sources of rice or wheat? You may have seen paddy or wheat fields with rows and rows of plants which give us these grains. And then there are food items like milk, eggs and meat, which come from animals. So now I will explain these photos. So this is 1.2 picture, sources of food ingredients. These are plants and these are animals. So sometimes we eat this animal, sometimes we eat its egg, which is meat and eggs, and their products like milk and etc. So these are some fruits, vegetables, and a stew, I think. Moving on, activity 3. Let us take the 4 items listed earlier and try to find out where they come from, the ingredients, and their sources. Some examples are shown in 1.3. Fill in the blanks in the table 1.3 and add some more examples to the list. So again, just fill the table and add some more examples. If you want, pause the video. So what do we conclude from the activity? 3. Plants are the sources of food ingredients like grains, cereals, vegetables, and fruits. Animals provide us with milk, meat products, and eggs. Cows, goats, and buffaloes are some common animals which give us milk. Milk and milk products are like butter, cream, cheese, and curd are used all over the world. Can you name some other animals which give us milk? So we can say like goats give us milk, camel give us milk, I think. Yes, goats are true. I think camel give. Okay, this is a plant. Let's discuss about the details first. Plants and parts and animal products as food. Plants are the one source of food. Which part of a plant? So there are some questions which I don't understand and I don't like in NCERT. We eat many leafy vegetables. We eat fruits of some plants, sometimes roots, sometimes stems, and even flowers. Have you eaten a pumpkin? So this is a plant structure. This is the flower. Obviously everyone knows a flower. This is a fruit. I think it is chili. This is the center stem, and this is the leaf. Shoot system. So this whole upper ground plant is known as a shoot system. SHOOT, shoot system. And the below ground is known as root system. They both are rhyming, shoot and root. These parts which are joining the branches of the leaves and the stem is known as the node. And this part which is joining two branches and the stem between the two branches, this stem part is known as the internode. So basically the main stem is, if we can say that, but mostly of the stem parts are internodes. These small structures are called bud. And below the ground, this is the primary root. In most of the plants, there are only one single root which has branches of different roots. And if I have the theory that I know, if a plant is standing straight, it has the leaves like this, and below the ground there is one more plant, just it does not have leaves. If we just flip this book opposite, and then we can see that this root system also looks like a tree, which is a dead tree because it has no leaves and is just underground. Secondary root, and this is the secondary root which branches off the primary root. These are found in some plants only. Some plants have different roots and don't have a primary root. So flowers dipped in rice paste and fried. So I don't know what this means. Have you ever eaten pumpkin flowers dipped in rice paste and fried? Tried. I would not, because it doesn't sound good. Who will eat pumpkin flowers dipped in rice paste and then fry them to eat? Some plants have 2 or more edible, eatable parts. Seeds of mustard plants give us oil, and leaves are used as a vegetable. Can you think of different parts of a banana plant that are used as food? Think of more examples where 2 or more parts of a single plant are used as food. So this is one more table. I just hate tables at this point. So apparently there are some of these children who are in this whole book. Let's read them first. I think I have not missed. Yes, I have not missed. So here, this is Paheli, this is a girl, and there's another boy whose name is Boju. Their name is funny. Paheli wants to know if any of our food comes from sources other than plants and animals. So yeah, no, I don't think so, because plants, we eat the vegetables, fruits, and from animals we just eat them only, and their products like milk, but I don't think so that there's any other source from where we can eat. It is a caution that it means that do not try to taste unknown plants around you to see if they are edible. Some plants could be poisonous, so don't do like this, that if you see a Venus flytrap you will get to it and try to eat it, because instead of you eating it, it can eat you. No, I'm just joking. A Venus flytrap is not just that big that it can eat you, but still it has the different chemicals in it which are harmful to us. Only the plants which are edible, which are these parts of a plant, not a whole plant. And also in some edible plants, there only one or two parts are edible and not the whole plant. Like in some plants the leaves are edible but not the root, and some plants the root are edible but not the leaves. So you have to eat the parts which are edible. Activity 4, and then activity 5, and then more activities. Why there are so much activities? From all the 4 items you have listed in table 1.3, choose those items whose ingredients are obtained from plants. Which part of a plant identify and list the 4 items and plant parts as shown in table 1.4. So again, do this if you want. Activity 5. Take some dried seeds of moong or chana. Put a small quantity of seeds in a container filled with water and leave this aside for a day. Next day, drain the water completely and leave the seeds in the vessel. Wrap them with a piece of wet cloth and set aside. The following day, do you observe any changes in the seeds? A small white structure may have grown out of the seed. So if so, the seed have sprouted. So these are moong dal seeds. We can also make a simple dal out of them, but yeah, if you want to eat more, then we can sprout them. So this process is called sprouting, we can say, because when I can say the definition that when small white structures grow out of seeds, this process is called sprouting. So you can note it down. And yeah, like in moong and dal and chana, these happen, and I think that there are many more seeds in which sprouting happens. If not, wash the seeds in water, drain the water and leave them aside for another day, covered with a wet cloth. The next day, see if the seeds have sprouted. After washing these sprouted seeds, you can eat them. They can also be boiled, add some spices and get a tasty snack to eat. Yeah, they are somewhat of tasty, and we can eat them as breakfast, mostly as breakfast. Because it is good to eat sprouts in breakfast. Do you know where honey comes from or how it is produced? Have you seen a beehive where so many bees keep buzzing about? Bees collect nectar, sweet juices from flowers, convert it into honey and store it in their hive. Flowers and their nectar may be available only for a part of a year, so bees store the nectar for their use all through the year. When we find such a beehive, we collect the food stored by the bees as honey. So first of all, these photos, they are not good. I don't know what is this, and it does not seem to look like a beehive. And this is just a clump of bees and a group of bees coiled together because it looks nasty. And if you see a beehive nearby on a building or a tree, just don't touch it, just run away, because most of the beehives have queen bee which would hunt you down if you touch its beehive, and most probably it can poison you. So bees are not good. But the honey, it seems honey, like it is sweet and other things, it is tasty, but also it has a very nasty way to create it. The nectar which bees collect, they drink it first and then they excrete it in their beehive. So that excretion makes honey, and so I don't like honey because of this only. What do animals eat? Do you have cattle or a pet that you take care of? A dog, cat, buffalo, or a goat? So buffalo and goat cannot be pets, just they can be farm animals which you have. A dog and cat are obviously a pet. you will then surely be aware of the food the animals eat. So if you have them as pet, you should know and you must know what they eat, or else they would die of hunger. What about other animals? Have you ever observed what a squirrel, pigeon, lizard, or a small insect may be eating as their food? A squirrel eats nuts, lots of nuts. Pigeons and lizards eat these small insects, and small insects eat, I think, other insects or even microbes. Several animals are listed in table 1.5, or some of them, the type of the food they eat is also given. Fill in the blanks in the table. So one more table if you want to do, you can fill. Just pause the video. Activity 6. Now again, I just hate activities at this point because there are a lot of activities. Just at every point there are activities. Every page consists of 2 activities. I don't like this. Have a look again at table 1.5. Take a look at it again and group the animals entered here as follows. Place animals which eat only plants or plant products in group 1. These are called herbivores. So animals which eat only plants and their products are called herbivores. There are some animals which eat other animals. Place these in group 2. These animals are called carnivores. So this is carnivores, this is group 2. These are animals which eat other animals, sometimes themselves, like sometimes a lion eats a lion. It does not happen, but it can happen if they are angry on each other. Do you find some animals which eat both plants and animals? Place them in group 3. These are called omnivores. So these are animals which eat both herbivores and carnivores. Not eat them, but eat like them. So like there is a squirrel, we can say squirrels eats nuts, which are fruits, and it also eats insects. Prepare a table as in 1.6 and enter the thread separately in 3 columns. So you have to take this table as an example, make another table if you want, and then enter the data. You can see the different types of animals on earth. There are no endless possibilities to animals on earth because there are many animals. I think there are million species of animals alone on earth. Bailey wants to know where you would place human beings while filling table 1.6. I think they are omnivores because we can eat both non-veg and vegetarian food. So we know that there are many amongst us who do not get sufficient food. We need to find ways by which more food can be produced in the country. That will not be enough. We will need to find ways to ensure that this food is made easily available to each of one of us. Keywords, these are the keywords, and after this the chapter ends. So the keywords are ingredients, edible, nectar, sprouted seeds, herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. So most of the words you would have heard in the previous classes. Just it is a recap, I think. Summary. So this is the summary you would read if you want to read, and I should say you should read because it is a good recap of the whole chapter. This is the exercise on page 1 to 3 question numbers. You can do all of these in your copy, and I am not doing these in front of YouTube because if I will do anything incorrect, you will all scream at me in the comments. So this is question number 4, and these are some projects and activities suggested by NCERT to us and things about to think about. Okay, so by this I end the chapter number 1 of class 6, and thank you all to watch my video, and please subscribe and like my video if you like it. It is a like. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe because I have only very less subscribers, only 40 of them, whereas some people have 40 million of them.